Yeah, we are in the midst of
Hey guys, this is Backdraft, and welcome to another episode on the Create With Backdraft SMP. This is episode number 5. Thank you so much for joining me today. This SMP is a custom mod pack SMP that centralizes around the Create mod. Me and my friends are building all kinds of crazy contraptions. So if you're enjoying the content, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another episode. So I'm starting up here atop a bunch of scaffolding because I think this is a super good view of the Backdraft Peninsula. We got the storage system over there with the iron farm and ore doubler. We've got the mob farm over here, which is probably going to be one of the concentrations of this episode. And we have all of the starter stuff over here, few farms as well. So let's scale down, and I'm going to tell you guys exactly what the plan is for this episode and show you what we already have going over here by the storage area. So let's right on over here. So let me show you what's in my inventory right now. We have what is called charred nether bricks. I can't remember exactly which mod these are from. Quark. So the recipe for these is 3 nether bricks and a fire charge gives you the charred nether brick. So I was able to make a bunch of fire charges using blaze powder, coal, and what's the other ingredient that's escaping my mind? Blaze powder, coal, and gunpowder, which we are able to farm up very, very easily with what we already have going. So we have enough to make about 9 stacks of charred nether bricks, which is what we're going to need to pretty up this tower over here. So that's going to be one of the concentrations of this episode. But the first thing I want to do is we're going to need to smelt up a ton of this netherrack. We have 32,000 netherrack from all of the nether mining that we've been doing. And I almost forgot, if you guys missed, we are now in full netherite gear. That's right, we spent a lot of time on the last live stream doing a ton of extra auto mining in the nether, and we were able to get up enough ancient debris to deck ourselves out in netherites. And I think we look rather snazzy, if I do say so myself. So in order to get the 9 stacks of charred nether brick that we're going to need to pretty up the tower, we're going to need 36 stacks of nether brick, which means we're going to have to smelt 36 stacks of nether rack. And right now I'm only working with a few dinky starter furnaces that are over in the starter base over there, and that's not going to be fast enough. So the plan is, very first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a super smelter. And since this is the Create mod, we are not going to make just any super smelter. We are going to make a massive bulk blaster. So if you're unfamiliar with how bulk blasting works in the Create mod, essentially it is a way to smelt up a ton of items very, very quickly without the use of fuel. And I'll show you guys how that works a little later when we get to the design. Here are the plans for this episode. Number 1 is we're actually going to build a kelp farm. Now we're going to do a kelp farm because we're going to need a lot more mechanical belts, especially for our bulk blaster. And I am so sick of having to manually harvest up all of the kelp. So I think that's the first thing we're going to do. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to get that bulk blaster up and running. We're going to need to do some resource collection and get everything together. And I think I have a special surprise for how we're actually going to build this one. You guys do not want to miss it. And then finally, we're going to pretty up the tower once we get our bulk blaster going and can smelt up that massive amount of netherrack that we're going to need. So first things first, let's get the kelp farm going. I have a design ready to go. It won't take me very long, and we're actually going to build it right over here behind me. So let's get to going. We just finished up a stream and we got the kelp farm up and running. So the idea over here is that whatever crops we're going to need to farm for this SMP this season, at least, we are going to build them in this tower form right here. So we just built another layer on top of the wheat farm over here, and that is where the kelp is being harvested. Let me show, I probably got some scaffolding rather than trying to fly up there. Let me show you guys exactly what we're dealing with. So what we have is we have the same kind of rotational farm that we have down below, powered by an encased fan. And we had to obviously fill it with water because that is where kelp will grow. So as you can see right there, that piece of kelp, it might be hard to see, I don't know how hard it is to see in the video, but the the rotating, whatever the heck arm thingy you want to call this is going around, and it is grabbing all of the kelp that is grown up. There's a piece right there that's grown up, and we're actually using the saws on this farm. You can use either saws or harvesters, but the saws are actually cheaper in terms of the andesite alloy that you need for them. You don't actually need any andesite alloy for the saws, so we ended up going with the saws. So it's going to harvest up all of the kelp that grows and dump it off over there into the ender chest to be sucked into the storage system over there. So this is a pretty simple design. The rotational farms are pretty simple and standard at this point when it comes to the create mod. But any other crops that we're going to need, we're going to build this tower up and up and up closer to the sky. I don't know what else we're going to need at this point, but whatever else we do need, we're going to build another rotational farm. So now to get on with the bulk blaster, and I mentioned that I had a little surprise for you guys in building this thing, and that surprise is right here in my hand. This bad boy is called the schematic cannon. So let me place this down so you guys can actually see it. It just looks like a regular old cannon, but if right click it, we see that it has this interface, and essentially what we do is we place an inventory next to it with all of the materials that we need to build whatever it is that we're building, and we put the blueprint inside of it. So when we designed the bulk blaster, which I already have a design in the creative world, so we already actually have the blueprint. So we grab the blueprint, we put it in here, we put the inventory next to it, and then we power it with gunpowder, and this thing will automatically build the contraption. It's amazing! I can't wait to use it. But first things first, we have to do all of the resource collection for the bulk blaster array, so let's get on with that. So we're over in the basement at the starter base, and as you can see, I've actually swapped out my mechanical press for a deployer here, because we need to make a couple advanced items in the create mod to make our speed controllers for this contraption for the bulk blaster. So to make the rotation speed controllers, we need two of them. We need these precision mechanisms. Now to do this, we have to do what's called a sequenced assembly using a deployer. So the first thing is we have a golden sheet sitting on a depot, and then we have the deployer place a regular cogwheel, then a large cogwheel, and then an iron nugget, and then we have an 80% chance to get a precision mechanism. So we're gonna need two of these, and I'm gonna show you guys how this works. Hopefully it works for the first one. We're gonna put our golden sheet down on the depot, and for some reason, oh, it gets sucked through, so we're gonna actually have to remove this for now. So we'll put the golden sheet onto, oh, if I can get it on there correctly, let's just place it in here. So put the golden sheet down there. So then the next thing we do is we actually hand the deployer the first ingredients. Let me get rid of this so I can see a little better. So we'll hand it the cogwheel, and not like that. We should just be able to click on, doesn't seem to be working for some reason. There we go, we have to actually click on it. It's okay. So then we got that, then we do the large cogwheel, and let me grab that back. Then we do the large cogwheel. I don't know why. Hang on. Let's break it, and now let's hand it the large cogwheel. Why is this not working? There we go. Okay. There we go. And let's break it again. This is kind of odd that this is doing it like this. I don't know why it's doing like this. Okay, then the iron nugget. And that should have been it, right? What did I do wrong? So we give it the cogwheel, the large cog. Oh, we got to do it 5 times. I forgot. So we need 5 for each one. Well, anyway, this is the process. It's long and tedious. I just wanted to show you guys. We're going to need to make these for the speed controllers. This is going to take a while. Okay, so I ended up going for it and setting up this sequenced assembly of deployers right here. So we filled up these barrels with as much of the small cogs, the large cogs, and the iron ingots that we could spare, and we were able to make the rotation speed controllers that we needed. So the way that this works is we can just sit here, we put down the golden sheet there to start, then we can grab it and get the next components, and we can just keep doing this the 5 times that we need until we can get the component that we need. So now that we have the 2 speed controllers, we're good to go. We have everything that we need to make the bulk blaster, so let's get into it. So we got the blueprint placed down right over here. We got our cannon set up with the full inventory of components next to it, and this is where it's gonna go right here. So all we have to do is add gunpowder to the schematic cannon. So we'll add a stack and a little bit, and that will fill it up fully, and then all we have to do is hit play, and then it says it's ready. So I think we just hit the check mark, and it should start firing off. Ready. Oh, shift, check mark, summary. Apparently we're doing something wrong. So it turns out that you actually need to give this thing a book so that it can create a material list. Now, I don't know, I thought that that was optional, but I guess it's not. So at this point, I think we can just hit, there we go, it's starting to build it. This is super awesome. It should have all of the material. I guess it's already missing It's already missing a gearbox. So let's actually just convert this one. I don't know if it still needs the vertical gearbox. Okay, there we go. This is so awesome. Let's watch this thing go for a minute. Look at that. This is so cool. How much gunpowder does it actually use? It barely uses anything. This is so cool. All right, I think it's nearing the end. It's placing in the windmill, and it does this weird tweak dance thing after it shoots a few of the sails. Like, look at that. It's doing like this weird dance thing. It's pretty funny, actually. And there we go. It is all done. So there we have our bulk blaster. Now we can actually turn this on by just turning on the windmill. We shouldn't have any issues. Yep, there we go. She works. Oh, we still have to manually. Oh, looks like we're gonna have to manually place in the lava, but that's not a problem. Other than that, this thing is good to go. We actually have a bit of a problem here, and it's that everything is going the wrong way. The belts are going the wrong way. The fans are blowing the wrong way, and the culprit is that this thing is meant to be facing the other way. And I didn't realize that since we're using speed controllers, the orientation actually does matter. So we're gonna have to tear it down and do it again. Thankfully, we have a schematic cannon. And using this wrench makes it actually really easy to break out all of these create components. So if you just shift right click on a create component, it not only does it break it instantly, but it also puts it in your inventory. So this actually isn't so bad. Alrighty, so we were able to redo it, and it looks like it's working now. I'm gonna have to remember that for the future. So we need to smelt up the 36 stacks of netherrack to get the nether brick we're gonna need for the charred nether brick and pretty up that tower. So I have all of the netherrack that we're gonna need in the ender chest here and in my inventory. So we're gonna go ahead and dump it in and make sure that this bad boy works. It's actually a pretty cool sight to watch it all come through. It may look like it's really slow, but it's essentially it's able to smelt up a whole stack in like I think it's pretty much, you can see how fast it fills up in here. So I think I did the math, and it can do a whole double chest in like somewhere between like 60 and 90 seconds. It's pretty wild. So as you can see, it's already gotten through 4. Here comes the 5th stack. This thing cranks through materials like crazy. It is super awesome. I can't wait to use this thing some more. So we've assembled up all of the materials that we're going to need to pretty up our mob spawning tower, and it is about time that we get to doing it. And we haven't done a third-person time-lapse in a few episodes, and I think we are about due to get one on the radar. So let's go ahead and roll that music. I hope you guys enjoy. hope you guys enjoyed that time lapse. Here is the final product for the mob spawning tower. So the materials that we used here, we have the deep slate bricks, we've got the thatches, the doors, the dark oak wood chiseled, the red nether brick, and of course we have the charred nether brick for the roof. It looks really cool if you ask me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments of this design. It was a little annoying to place the vertical slabs here and there. It's always a little annoying. I can never really figure out exactly what you need to do to either place a regular slab or a vertical slab, whether you shift or don't shift. I don't know. Sometimes it gets a little confusing. But yeah, finally this is prettied up. And that is actually all the time I have for this episode, ladies and gents. If you enjoyed it, please do not hesitate to hit that thumbs up. And if you're looking forward to future episodes on the Create With Backdraft SMP, then hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. We got quite a bit done in this episode. We got the kelp farm, the bulk blaster, and the prettying up of the tower. And there's still a lot more that I want to do before this series is out. Thank you guys so much. And just a small plug here, I actually started a secondary series running in tandem with this one. I am playing the Create Above and Beyond mod pack. So keep an eye out for those episodes as well. Episode 2 should actually be coming up soon. Episode 1 is already out. Make sure you guys go check that out. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we are in the place to be. Yeah.